Ah, the Jewish nose, a feature so legendary it's been the subject of art, literature, and apparently centuries of misguided fascination. Who knew a simple facial feature could carry so much baggage? Let's dive into the bizarre world of stereotypes, where noses aren't just for smelling, but for fueling myths, misconceptions, and a whole lot of nonsense. Ah, the Jewish nose. That iconic, exaggerated feature that anti-Semites and conspiracy theorists have been obsessed with for centuries. It's almost impressive how much cultural weight has been placed on a single body part. Forget about Jewish contributions to science, art, or philosophy. No, the real legacy is apparently the nose. Move over, Einstein. Your theory of relativity is nothing compared to the gravitational pull of this mythical schnoz. The idea of the Jewish nose is one of those stereotypes that's so absurd, it's almost funny, if it weren't so deeply rooted in prejudice. The stereotype portrays Jewish people as having large, hooked noses, a feature that has been used to other them for centuries. It's like someone decided, hey, let's take a completely normal variation in human anatomy and turn it into a symbol of difference, suspicion, and ridicule. Bravo, humanity. Bravo! The origins of the Jewish nose stereotype are as murky as a bowl of matzo ball soup, but it's safe to say it's been simmering for a long time. Some historians trace it back to medieval Europe, where anti-Semitic propaganda often depicted Jewish people with exaggerated features, including large noses. These caricatures were less about accuracy and more about dehumanization. Because, nothing says I hate you, like turning someone's face into a cartoonish nightmare. Fast forward to the 19th and early 20th centuries, and the stereotype got a pseudo-scientific makeover. Anthropologists and phrenologists, because nothing says science like measuring skulls to prove your biases, claimed that Jewish people had distinct physical traits, including, you guessed it, the nose. Never mind that noses come in all shapes and sizes across every ethnic group. Nope, the Jewish nose was special. It was the nose that launched 1,000 stereotypes. Here's the kicker. The so-called Jewish nose isn't even exclusive to Jewish people. Plenty of non-Jewish folks have prominent noses, but somehow they've managed to avoid being the subject of centuries-old conspiracy theories. Lucky them. Meanwhile, Jewish people have had to deal with this ridiculous stereotype being used against them in everything from Nazi propaganda to modern-day memes. It's almost impressive how persistent this myth is, like a bad smell that just won't go away. And let's not forget the sheer absurdity of reducing an entire group of people to a single physical trait. Imagine if we did that with other groups. Oh, you're Irish. You must have a giant leprechaun hat growing out of your head. Or you're Italian. Let me guess. Your hands are permanently stuck in the shape of a pizza slice. It's ridiculous, right? Yet, for some reason, the Jewish nose stereotype has managed to stick around like gum on a hot sidewalk. At the end of the day, the Jewish nose stereotype is just that, a stereotype. It's a lazy, harmful way to categorize people, and it says more about the people perpetuating it than the people it's supposed to describe. Jewish people, like everyone else, come in all shapes, sizes, and nose configurations. Some have big noses, some have small noses, and some have noses that are just there, minding their own business. So the next time someone tries to bring up the Jewish nose as if it's some kind of gotcha moment, feel free to roll your eyes. Or better yet, hit them with some facts about Jewish history, culture, and achievements. Because, spoiler alert, there's a lot more to Jewish identity than a facial feature. And if they still don't get it, well, maybe they're just being nosy. In the grand scheme of things, the Jewish nose stereotype is just another example of humanity's endless capacity for inventing nonsense. It's a reminder that prejudice often thrives on ignorance, exaggeration, and a complete lack of self-awareness. So, let's all take a moment to appreciate the absurdity of it all, and maybe give our noses a break. After all, they've got enough to deal with just keeping us breathing.